So, a very warm welcome to each one of you on our 13th episode of Nature's Orbit TorchLight Series. It is our utmost pleasure and honor to have with us Mr. Punyasloka Panda. We are all aware of the UN Sustainable Development Goals. Here is a man whose goal is sustainable development. He is founder of education and career counseling organization Blueyard, national coordinator for youth and sustainability, and head of strategy and partnerships in Human Circle Foundation. He is passionate and empowering, enabling the youth to take action in their career, entrepreneurship, and sustainability. He has been India Youth Representative at Asian Youth Summit on Sustainable Palm Oil in 2019 in Bangkok. And he has won first position in Global Learning Program in Dubai. A very warm welcome to you, Punyasloka ji. It's wonderful to have
Thank
you
you
here.
so much, Aditya ji. Pleasure.
Thank you.
My pleasure.
So let me start off with, how about you sharing with us about your life and also about your stint in the Ashoka University?
Life, I think I'm pretty young to discuss about my life. Is just how many? 23 years, 24 years on Earth. A lot of challenges, lot of learnings. But yeah, I can talk about my time in Ashoka University. I think it was a blessing to be part of the first three batches to have graduated from the reputed Ashoka University because it's been a absolute honor to be connected with so many people over there because colleges, after you graduate from your school after 12th, which college you join hardly matters. It's about how you put in your efforts. But in this case, the college did matter. The kind of education I had to pursue liberal arts, changing from like proper engineering stream, I was getting into NITs, then shifting to economics, finance, and pursuing entrepreneurship at Ashoka, uh, getting to do social sciences in a liberal arts college where you are taught to ask the right questions. I think that changed my perspectives a lot. It has shaped me to do what I do today. And it also has allowed me to gain a lot of traction quite easily because of the people I got to know there, the who's and who's of the sustainable development sector. It was my honor to be taught by a Nobel laureate and two Raman Magsaysay Award winners. We have hosted Anshu Gupta for multiple sessions, Sonam Wangchuk. I personally hosted Sonam Wangchuk when I was the head of the ENA there, the entrepreneurship cell. And moving on, also we had the privilege to have a short course by Professor Mohammad Yunus, the Nobel laureate from Dhaka. And the journey after Ashoka still continues with the people, with the network, with the kind of learnings. I think it's a lifetime opportunity to be a student there. So
Yes, and you have also done some work regarding entrepreneurship there, right?
yes, Blueyard education saw its birth in Ashoka. We presented, me and my co-founder Sachin Mehra, we presented the idea a prize in a competition called Hall Prize, which we definitely lost. We did not win. Had we won, I think we would not have pursued the idea further by winning the cash prize. Because we lost, we took it as a challenge to prove ourselves wrong and say ourselves that, see, actually the idea is good enough and it's still running. We incorporated in the year 2020. 90% of my time went on in Ashoka. I spent it in the Center for Entrepreneurship. So much that my friends you started calling me Startup Panda from second year. So nobody called me Punyas. Everybody started calling me Startup Panda because I was always there. If anyone had to find me, they knew where they could find me. So interning with CFE, working for CFE, part of ENA, being the one of the core team members of ENA, head of so many events, startup Ashoka, social entrepreneurship events, hosting people for those events, participating, helping entrepreneurship courses as a TA, as a teaching assistant. I think my life evolved around that.
Uh, I wanted to also ask you, how was your interaction with the great innovator, Sunam Wangchuk?
Honestly, it did not start on a good note. I was supposed to pick him up from T2 Delhi airport. He was moving out in a different direction. I was waiting in a different place. So we started off on a bad note, but his humility is something else. Then he was a little bit feeling uncomfortable. That happens to many people who land in Delhi because of the amount of air pollution it has. So he had developed some infection, throat infection. But the next day when we got him on campus, it was I mean I was just busy with the event. He comes from the back and he asks me, "Let's have lunch together." And he says, "Sorry for my behavior yesterday." So I was shocked. I'm like, "Come on, this guy is winning Raman Max's award, and he's here to tell me sorry because of his behavior yesterday." So that was a really warm moment. He called me to have lunch together. So we had lunch together. And one thing I learned from him is that no matter how big you become, how many things you innovate, even if the world is following you, you never stop learning. So when people were the participants of the competition were sort of presenting their ideas, Sonam sir was sitting on the back, taking out his own notebook and noting down ideas. So I was really, it was really overwhelming. I mean, we learned so little and keep saying that we have learned everything, but that guy who was already sitting at that position, but still noting down ideas from the participants of the competition. So that's in itself is a big statement or speaks about what he is.
Yeah, such humility and being so grounded, and it's wonderful to interact with such people. So as I say, now what you know makes no difference. It's all right now, for the youth. That's awesome to hear. Thank you for sharing that. Like, can you share about your experience in getting certified as iDream certified career counselor? And you have other certifications as well, like Mindler certified career coach and Youth of Sustainable Palm Oil Fellow, certified by Center for
Yeah,
Responsible
so
Business.
so I think this was all during COVID. Unlike Indian media, I followed a lot of trusted resources outside, which did mention that COVID is gonna stay for long. It's not just for 1 month or a few days or something. I had left my job in 2019 December, was bent on starting Youth for Sustainability. And Blueyard Education had to take a pivot because we started with travel and learn modules, and the travel sector was going to take a serious hit after COVID. In fact, we had our first international module arranged for social business trip to Dhaka, where we would have taken students to meet Professor Yunus and have a good expedition for 4 to 5 days in Dhaka. It was scheduled for June 2020, but after March 20, we had the lockdown, so we had to cancel with that trip. And like entrepreneurship, you have to fail fast. So, and we quickly pivoted into career counseling because that's what I was doing when I was doing my job full time in Delhi. I was a product head for career roadmaps and building careers roadmaps for students in school who wished to study abroad or in colleges like Ashoka, Kriya, Flame, and all of that. So uh, I thought it's very much necessary that I have a certification that I am eligible to do this. So hence I took the career counseling. It was a enlightenment for me also because the way we see at education system today and the way we pressurize all the students from a very young age and the entire pedagogy of teaching, I think we have got it all wrong. This is not how it's supposed to be. So that helped me understand a lot of layers of how a progress happens in a career and what is the right age to actually start looking for proper settlements and everything, uh, which in our culture people start looking at a very young age. For example, just after boards, people start choosing what they want to be, uh, and that makes them decide whether they want to go for uh, engineering or medical or social sciences or CA and all of that. But I think that decision can wait till like you are 23, 24. You have a lot of time if you see. And this leads to a lot of pressure, our happiness ranking. Swedish countries are like Norway, and all the Norwegian countries are like in the top five. We are very low in our happiness ranking. Happiness index is like addition of how many people suicide in every hour, how many people are under depression, and mental health is such a big taboo in our country till date. Now people are talking about it, but still, I think the very privileged ones talk about it. It's not so common in the tier two, tier three cities among those people. So, and career does play a very important role of it. So that's why I thought, in order to transform Blueyard's pivot in that direction, I have to equip myself with those training so that I can do that in a proper professional way. So yeah, so I did a complete course from my dream career, then a short course from Mindler, and during that period also I was part of the Youth for Sustainable Palm Oil Fellowship, which I won. So those all things were in the COVID. I kept myself engaged pretty much the entire time during COVID.
Yes, what you shared just now reminds me of the movie Three Idiots. A lot of the aspects about pressure, about
Yeah,
students choosing their career by force, and you going out there and making a difference really matters. You see children even learning about coding in the third standard, in second standard. Imagine, even today, after 10 years of my career, I can't understand what coding is, but if they're made to learn at such a young age, so it's nice to know that you know, you are taking this up and you're concerned about it. Uh, Thanks for sharing that. What made you so passionate about career counseling and encouraging entrepreneurship?
I mean, I think again, we are a nation of job seekers. We should be job creators. That's only how it's going to solve the issue. Plus, um, I had never the urge to work 9 to 5. I love freedom of choice, my right to do something and do what I love. And since a very young age, that has carried on to me that I would like to have my opinion. I mean, my opinion should matter in a system that I'm working or an institute where I'm working. So, a job environment does not provide me with those freedom, hence entrepreneurship. Phase in Ashoka, being taught by so many big entrepreneurs, having spent so much time at the Center for Entrepreneurship and everything, it just happened. It just came to me. So yeah.
So, from entrepreneurship, how did you move into sustainability, and how did Youth for Sustainability Alliance? How did that come up?
No, so entrepreneurship and sustainability, I did not jump. I just mixed them because I'm not a hardcore capitalist entrepreneur. I'm a social entrepreneur. So, which means I believe in social business. So, hence, sustainability till date seen as a charity in our country, which is not how it's going to help solve issues. It has to be integrated into the system. It has to be a part of the business because charity is like doing patchwork. You do something wrong and then you to patch something, then you do the patchwork. Like for example, the some floods. Repeatedly, we have ignored the signs from Mother Nature. We have destroyed the biodiversity, and what happens is that after that we sort of uh, this. floods and everything, those are human made, I guess. These days, we call them natural calamities, but this is the pressure on Mother Nature which is leading to this thing, flooding of cities and everything. And then we start donating and everything, asking for donations from big corporates to prevent this. Same with COVID also. I believe COVID is a zoonotic disease. We have ignored all the signs when it happened before, like in Ebola, in AIDS, and all other kinds of flus and everything. So sustainability and entrepreneurship I combined to make something called as Youth for Sustainability. We are not like, unlike other organizations, we don't protest, we don't go on roads asking other people to do their job. We start the change from our side. Everyone who joins has to be the change they want to see. And we always project YFS as an environment impact consulting organization. We build consensus with any kind of organization out there, anyone and everyone, to build sustainable development goals. And we focus on 12 and 13, and of course 17, which is like responsible consumption, production, climate action, and partners.
So one thing I wanted to ask was, what is the importance of the youth being aligned to sustainable development goals, and which of the SDGs are you most aligned with?
I am aligned with SDG 12, 13, 17, like I mentioned. Youth needs to be aligned with these goals because more than 50% of the population of India is youth, and sustainable development means that we are working for the future. So basically, what happens is that in the next upcoming years, it's a study by BlackRock which says that 75% of the youth is going to enter into a workforce that has to do with sustainable development. They will invest in sustainable development. They will demand sustainable products and everything. So which means that the process needs to start now. And it has to be a process which is wholesome. For example, the big NGOs or the big CSR projects that we have, India is a market for 20,000 CR NGOs, like not-for-profit institutions per annum. The turnover of all the NGOs, like the market share is 20,000 crore, which is huge. But all these people hire their employees who have a good experience of 6 to 7 years. But I think slowly and gradually the youth needs to enter this workforce to create an impact. So yeah.
It's interesting to know also about your app, which is called Leaflets. Can you tell us a little bit about that? And also about your organization, which is Blueyard.
So Leaflets is part of the Youth for Sustainability only. Basically, Youth for Sustainability has come up with an environment media wing, which is called Leaflets. We are a consulting organization, so we have different verticals. One of them is Leaflets. We have developed an application which gives you environment shots in 60 words. Plus, we are developing this front as an environment media using all the channels of social media like Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, and all. We want to focus only on environment through this media because, and we want to speak both sides because a lot of organizations like Mongabe and all, they do focus on environment news. But I believe, it is my personal opinion, that a lot of times this media which focuses on the environment just propagates one side of the story. But the opinion makers are the people who read the news, not the news channels who deliver it or the medium who deliver it. So how we are different is, A, we are youth oriented, B, we are using technology to enable all people to read environment news in a very short and crisp manner so that they can at least know what's happening. C, we want to put the entire picture out there and let people have their opinion. We don't want to put anyone's opinion and shove it down the throat of any people. That's not what journalism is. And that has happened in a lot of cases in India. And currently, the situation of journalism in India is like that. It's on the extremes, but nobody gives the full spectrum. And when it comes to environment, it needs to be the entire spectrum, and then let people decide which is right, which is wrong, and what are the different yardsticks from which we look at the news. So that's the idea behind Leaflets.
What we'd like to know is about the message you'd like to give to the youth regarding climate action, and what are the consequences if you don't take action or if you don't follow sustainable methods?
Consequences, I don't think we need to be more evident. We are seeing consequences since March, due to the COVID, all the floods, all the irregular rains, and everything, and it's going to affect us. Trust me. Don't save nature. Nature can save itself. I keep on saying, save yourself, because our agricultural food will last for next 40 years. So you have to save soil. Our temperature is rising with average 1 degree, 1.5 degree every year. So by the time you become old or you have children, I don't know what this world will be. You don't want to live in that kind of a world. The plastic waste that we have today can wrap the earth 10 times. So it is your duty. So I think small steps matter. You don't have to wait for the government to do anything for you. Start on your own, from the morning, from the toothbrush that you're using, from the toothpaste that you're using. Are you carrying your own bottles? Are you saying no to straws? Because it's a chicken and egg problem. You'll keep saying that why there is a supply of single-use plastics or straws in the market. From the other side, the manufacturers will say there is a supply because there is a demand. You demand and the supply. So do your part. Stop the demand. Whom will they supply? So don't wait for who is going to do when and raise fingers on each other. It's on you. The moment you start doing things, others will follow. It's a butterfly effect, right? So that's my message for the youth. That don't wait for anyone to make things easier for you. Already scientists have made things easier for us by creating polythene, and we are in our comfort zone. We are lazy, and we need to move out of our comfort zone to actually save ourselves, not save Earth. Trust me. We might believe that we are rational and we human beings are the superior race, but not. So it's a very misconception. We are one of the species on Earth, and the natural systems will take their own shape to protect all the species, and uh, human beings can also get eliminated if we behave like this. So
Yeah, so like it's great to know that, and about taking action immediately right now. A wonderful message you have given to the youth, and so this brings us to the end of our episode. And thank you so much, Punyasloka ji, for being here. We've got a lot of good inputs, and we learned a lot about you. And you really are an epitome for youth to take action. And at such a young age, you're doing so many things, and you are also so focused on sustainability, and having your own you're true to your name, Startup Panda. So it's really it's an inspiration for the youth who are watching this episode, the 13th episode of Nature's Orbit Torchlight Series. It's an inspiration for them who are watching this, and they'll really take on doing what you're doing, and achieve such milestones. Thank you so much for being here.
thank you so much. It was my pleasure. Thank you.
Thank you.